Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Well, what you say? Well, Bill Wendell. Hi, friends. Welcome home. On this session of To Tell the Truth, our first guest is involved in the wonderful world of horse racing. Strange thing about it is that his job takes place after the race is over and quite a distance from the racetrack. We'll find out more about him as soon as we trot our panel out here on To Tell the Truth.
Nipsey Russell. Kitty Carlisle. Bill Collins. And Peggy Cass.
Peggy?
Yes?
You're a big horse race fan.
How dare you?
How dare I? Am I not right?
Yes.
There's nothing about it. It's a good red-blooded American sport. I want you to pay special attention as we meet a man who is concerned with horse races.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Frank Walkinger.
Number two.
My name is Frank Walkinger.
Number three.
My name is Frank Walkinger.
And as usual, panel, you have to ferret out the real Frank Walkinger, and here is his interesting story. I, Frank Walkinger, am a charter member of the Association of Official Racing Chemists and director of the New York State Testing Laboratory. As such, I specialize in testing whether drugs or other illegal medications have been used on racehorses. In my laboratory, saliva and urine samples from horses that raced at Aqueduct, Belmont Park, Saratoga, and Finger Lakes are painstakingly evaluated. New York's set of rules are quite strict. For example, Section 42.2 states in part that no horse will be permitted to start who has received medication for any reason after being entered in a race. Thus, even an aspirin before a race is forbidden. Only recently, my lab detected evidence of drugs in 4 horses. Interestingly, while at work, no one knows the identity of the horse or even the race that is under analysis. Signed, Frank Walkinger. Lots of questions to ask about this proposition. We'll hear from our sponsors and then be back to ask those questions.
Vinci gave me twice the pits and private parts, which makes me smell twice as bad.
A PU?
That's why I use Mando whole body deodorant. The manly deodorant for all the manly crevasses of my manly body.
Mando, he smells good.
Mando doesn't just block odor all day. It controls odor for 72 hours. With cologne quality scents. Roma wasn't built in a day, but with Mando, you can smell good for 3 of them. So if you want to smell better naked, then go to shopmando.com today.
Washer's all washed up. I love it.
AC went kaput? That's cool.
With a home warranty from American Home Shield, every day is a good day for a breakdown. You don't have to worry about the day when something stops working or expensive repairs. Because when surprise breakdowns happen, AHS will be there to fix or replace parts of the systems and appliances you rely on every day. They help protect your time and money by connecting you with qualified pros and helping pay for covered repairs or replacements. AHS offers affordable plans for every home and options to tailor your coverage so it's just right. With more than 50 years of experience, they know how to keep you smiling when things don't go as planned. It feels good to be right when things go wrong. Get the protection you need with American Home Shield. Sign up today and get $100 off any plan with code AHS100. Visit AHS.com or call 833-PLAN-AHS for this special offer.
Watch this. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. The problem will disappear before your eyes with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexiderm. Jump on board and say yes to this amazing $14.95 Plexiderm trial. Order right now. We'll pay your shipping.
All right, now remember, panel, that all three of the gentlemen across the way say that they are Frank Wackinger, director of the New York State Testing Laboratory, whose job it is to investigate whether drugs and other illegal substances have been used in horse races. And let's start with the high-spirited filly, Miss Peggy Cass.
Thank you. Number one, in a Kentucky Derby not so long ago, a horse won and was disqualified for traces of something. Do you know what who that horse was? Number one?
I believe it was Dance's Image.
Thank you. And number three, do you know who owned the horse?
Peter Fuller.
Thank you. And number two, where is your lab?
In Jamaica, Queens, on Hillside Avenue.
Well, thank you. Well, number one, supposing you find out after a race that a horse has been given 3 days after in your laboratory, it's too late. The horse, you know, what do you do about it then?
Well, the betting is paid off.
Yes.
But the purse is either withheld or returned to be given to the next horse.
Thank you. Number three, in the last scandal, which was very recent, were any jockeys set down?
I don't know.
You don't know that if any jockeys took any rap at all?
I don't know that.
Thank you. Number two, who's Tommy Trotter?
Racing Commissioner's office.
Thank you. Number one, which stable wears black silks with a cherry cap?
I don't know.
Do you go to the track, number one?
No.
Okay, number three, does the New York Racing Association have anything to do with the trotters or just the flats?
The New York Racing Association is a thoroughbreds.
You mean the trotters aren't thoroughbreds in your book?
No.
Okay, they'd be interested to hear. Sammy Dance would love to hear that. Number two, do you think that New York Racing is the most strictly supervised of all the states?
I would say that we're pretty much on a par with the rest of the country right now with our new standards.
I think you're better.
Hey, boy, those are tough questions. Let's go down to Nipsey Russell, please.
By all means. You think you can win on the horses? Well, here's what I have to say. The best way to double your money at the track is fold it and put it away. Number two, are all the horses routinely examined, or what would arouse one's suspicion that they warrant examination?
Well, we test the urine and saliva of the horses after the races.
Each horse?
Yes.
Each race?
Each horse, each race. We've done over 11,000.
All right. Number three, what about liniments that are used on lame horses? Is any kind of medication used permissible at all?
Any medication is forbidden. It's not to be used.
I see. Number one, would amphetamines or depressants or things like that, could they be accidentally or unwittingly introduced into the food or the feeding of a horse?
They could be and have been, but they're still illegal.
You mean even if no one has contrived it, the horse is disqualified?
If it's a winner, yes.
Oh, in other words, still with number one, if he's doped up and loses, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
I see. Well, now, actually, number three, if you examine the horses before and examine them after, isn't it just as much of a rigging to rig a horse to lose, who's maybe high in the betting averages, as it is to soup up a horse so that he will win?
Yes, that's quite accurate.
Then can you still, with number three, tell me why they don't disqualify or make some penalty involvement for horses that are doped who don't win?
They do occasionally take samples from horses that are sedated.
I see.
All righty, Kitty?
Yeah, but no, I agree with Nipsey, number three. That's not fair because a horse, let's say supposedly he's a favorite,
right,
and he's been sedated, and then another horse wins. Shouldn't there be a penalty for that?
Right.
Number three?
If we find a positive, that horse is penalized.
I see. Number two, who dopes the horses? Is it the trainer?
No, normally not. Normally it's done by outside interests.
Outside. Number one, where do they do it most? By the way, who pays for your laboratory? Number one.
New York State.
And where is it?
In Queens, Hillside Avenue.
Oh, yours is also in Queens. Well, now, would it not be possible to dope up a horse and you not know it?
Anything is possible, but if we test it, we think we'll find it.
Number two, when do they generally do it?
48 hours after the race.
No, when do they dope the horse? After the race, it's too late.
When the horse is usually doped prior to the entry of a horse, which is usually about 10:30 in the morning, so that it's usually done the morning of the race.
I see. Number 3, you said no. Oh, my.
Oh, my. All right, Bill Cullen, you're up, friend.
Yeah, number 3, the horse, if he's doctored after he's entered and between then and the race, that is when he cannot have medication. Is that right?
Right. After a horse is entered in the race, he's not to be medicated according to the rule.
Right. Now, number 1, after the race is over, blood and urine samples are taken of all the horses in that race?
No.
The 3...
Saliva and urine are taken of the winners only.
Of the first win, place, and show horses,
yes,
is that right?
That's correct.
Number 2, now, there are penalties, and those penalties are imposed either on the owner or the trainer or the attending veterinarian, is that right?
We turn that information over to the steward at the racetrack, and the steward makes the decision as to who to be penalized.
But meantime, those people who might have won money or lost money on that horse have either been paid off or their money has been taken away. In other words, it is not a helper to the better at that moment. Long-range plan, I suppose.
That's true. There is no possible way that we can control that.
Number 1, to get back to what Peggy said about thoroughbreds, do you maintain that horses who aren't race horses, running straight horses, are not thoroughbreds, or is that just a term used for race horses?
I'm a chemist and I test horses, and I'd rather not pass judgment on that question.
Right. Number 3, I think it was you who said...
all right, we got it, Bill. What I think is very interesting from talking to the real gentleman is that he is primarily a chemist and a scientist, not really interested in horse racing at all, you know, or what happened at the Derby or here, there, and the other thing. He's a laboratory man. All right, we have to vote, friends, and you got to decide who do you think it is? Is it number 1, or is it number 2, or is it number 3? We pay.
I've shaved every day for 20 years.
A couple times a week, just for special occasions.
Shaving gets me ready for my day.
I feel more confident clean shaven.
But I'm tired of overpaying for a close shave.
With Harry's, I don't have to. Harry's offers 5-blade closeness and comfort. It's got all the features that I love.
And refills cost as low as $2 each.
Only half of what I paid before.
It's a premium shaving experience without the premium price tag.
Go to harrys.com/TV to claim your $5 trial.
The gooze, the grime, the gunk. How do you get it off? Hi, Adam J. here for Abracadabra, the contractor strength wonder cleaner that removes the toughest stuff on the planet like magic. Abracadabra is strong enough for my job site, yet gentle enough to work wonders on your home. Abracadabra does what other products can't. Now this is a big problem. Abracadabra has the muscle to melt expanding foam like snow. Remove pure grease in a single swipe. And Abracadabra is gentle enough to remove duct tape from this tissue. Now that's amazing. Nothing's quicker on tape and stickers than Abracadabra. Remove stubborn gum in your hair or anywhere, and crayon marks on the wall disappear before your eyes. And off the paper too. For cruddy caulk and sealants, now break that bond with a touch of your wand. Get tar off that car in a flash. Melt sap away with a spray, and grimy rims sparkle like new. Even restore foggy headlamps in seconds. Abracadabra works wonders on concrete. Oil stains disappear. Tire marks vanish.
It's delicate enough to clean the makeup off my blouses, the dirt on my shoes, and even the dirtiest, greasiest oven.
Nasty barbecue? With Abracadabra, just dip it and strip it, and you'll be grilling in no time. Clean tar off this $100,000 car faster than you can say Abracadabra. Make just one thing spotless, and Abracadabra pays for itself. And if you're not completely satisfied, keep the bottle and we'll refund your money 100%. Call or go online to order your 8-ounce bottle of Abracadabra Wonder Cleaner now, and we'll upgrade your order to our jumbo 16-ounce bottle at no charge. Order now.
I have PCOS. It can cause unexplainable weight gain. Having to go through Weight Watchers Clinic and now taking a GLP-1, you just feel that extra level of support. And I'm like 2 pounds away from my goal weight, which is like
For each wrong vote, and we pay $500, providing the saliva test turns out all right, if we don't get the right fella. And Peggy.
Well, he may be just a chemist who isn't interested in the horses, but if he's a chemist, he certainly would be interested in the fact that Peter Fuller's horse was disqualified from the Derby. So I voted for 3 because he knew it was Peter Fuller.
All right, so we got a 3, and we're going down to Nipsey.
Well, I also know that the only man who makes money at the racetrack is the guy that sells hay and oats. But I voted for number 3 because of the answers he said about being medicated before and after.
We got a pair of 3s, and Kitty Carlisle.
Well, it's true, number 3 gave wonderful answers, but I like number 1. When Peggy said, you go to the racetrack, he said no.
And so the 1 is showing, and Bill Cullen's coming in.
Every time number 3 answered a question like Peter Fuller, a tough question, number 2 would shake his head. And number 2 also shook his head when number 1 answered a question that sounded like a good answer. And I like a man who shakes his head, so I voted for number 2.
Well, that's pretty funny reasoning, but if that's the way you figure it out, okay. At this point, the votes are all in. Will the real Frank Wackinger please stand up, sir?
No, it's 1.
There you go.
Yay! I got him!
Thank you, Mr. Wackinger. Now, let's find out who your imposters were. Very successful. Number 1, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Walter Politzer. I'm Chief Operating Officer with Arnold Bernhard and Company, publishers of Value Line Investment Survey.
And number 2, sir, want to tell me about
My
you?
name is Sumner Bay, and I'm president of a hotel consulting and group travel company here in New York.
Mr. Wackinger, the subject was brought up a moment ago of using liniments and such things on perhaps a slightly lame horse. Is that illegal too if it is not internal? If it is an external application?
It's true that when you apply a liniment, it's applied topically. But what happens, of course, is the drug is absorbed frequently through the skin, or else the horse could certainly lick the liniment off, and it eventually gets into the system.
And you find it anyway?
And, of course, we'd find it anyway, you see. This is the problem there. So all medications are forbidden in New York so that you'll have sound horses on your racetrack, and then maybe you can, pick the right horse. Right, for that winning.
Not
Peggy,
me, never. Thank you, Mr. Wackinger, and thank you, gentlemen, for being here. Now, I guess almost everybody knows that Lady Godiva rode horseback stark naked through the streets of Coventry. Well, our next guest rides through the streets of New York, but she doesn't do it on a horse, and she certainly doesn't do it without any clothes on. You want to find out more? Hang around.
What is that all about?
You asked for it, and we got it. A full-throttle 3-hour block of Match Game, Match Game, Match Game. Weekdays at 5 on BUZZR. Let's play.
You have a box of videotapes, film reels, or photos that are degrading? Legacy Box professionally converts them to DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud. Legacy Box is simple and safe, with over 1 million satisfied customers. Visit legacybox.com.
To improve your digital security, just turn on NordVPN. Guard yourself from data snoopers, encrypt your online traffic, and block malicious sites. Get the deal now.
Don't let that chip spoil your trip.
Is that a chip? That happens a lot, but SafeLight could have helped. A chip repair is faster, cheaper, and easier than a new windshield. And with your insurance, it's usually free. So don't let that chip spoil your trip. Book today.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
Now let us meet a modern-day Godiva.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Elizabeth Mescal.
Number 2.
My name is Elizabeth Mescal.
Number 3.
My name is Elizabeth Mescal.
I wish I knew what was so funny about the name Elizabeth Mescal, because I'm going to use it from now on if it'll get laughs like that. Here is Elizabeth Mescal's special delivery message. She says, I, Elizabeth Mescal, am the founder of New York's first and only messenger service owned and operated solely by women. I named my messenger service in honor of one of history's first feminists, a lady who really got her message through. It's called, are you ready? Godiva. Two friends and I got Godiva off the ground, each putting up an equal share of money. Now, covering all 5 boroughs of New York, our attractive women are unfailingly accurate, reliable, dependable, and courteous. If requested, they will run shopping errands, file briefs at City Hall, buy tickets, even feed the cat and walk the dog. It may come as a bitter disappointment to all of you male chauvinists to learn that while Godiva women get the message through in a most efficient fashion, they do so while fully clothed. Signed, Elizabeth Miskell. Well, I tell you, sometimes you get a case of the giggles. Bill Cullen, would you like to see what you can uncover?
Okay. Thank you.
I didn't mean it that way. I mean,
Elizabeth Miskell, number 2. What is it that makes your messenger service different from the average messenger service that we are prone to use?
Our rates are cheaper.
Uh-huh.
Plus, we use women.
Oh, it is exclusively women.
Right now, yeah.
Now, number 1, you mentioned that you file briefs and things like that. Do you have people particularly qualified to do that?
No, someone calls in and tells us exactly what to do, and we follow through.
In other words, it's more than merely a messenger service. You actually perform functions for people. Is that right?
We're asked to, yes.
Number 3, what are some of the other things that you do to make life easier for people? I know there are many times I wish I could call somebody to do something for me out of town or downtown or something like that. What other things do you do?
Pick up children.
I don't have, okay.
Walk dogs.
And for instance, if I said to you, look, I want to buy my wife a present, we got
Yes.
I'd tell you the budget and what I had in mind, and you would go out and buy that. Is that right?
Yes.
So number 2, you are.
I'm sorry, Bill. I'm going to Peggy, please.
Well, number 1, don't you have to be a lawyer to file a brief? Or can
No.
any old buddy? Oh,
No,
anybody can. Gee whiz. Number 2, what's the average age of your messengers?
20s, 30s, and 40s, all ages.
Oh, because some of the others are pretty old fellas going around. Number 3, supposing I lived on 75th Street and I wanted you to do an errand down on Wall Street, how would you get there?
Me personally or the messengers?
The messenger.
By bike.
They
Motorcycle.
never take this, motorcycle? Hot dog. Is that one of the requirements that you have to be able to ride a motorcycle to get a job
No.
in your place?
No.
Oh, you teach them yourself?
No, I wouldn't even get on a bike.
Okay. Number 1, what do you charge? What's the hourly fee?
It's not hourly. It's within certain zones, and it's $3 a zone if it's within the one zone.
How many blocks to a zone?
Oh, good question, but we got a buzz, so let's go down to Nipsey.
Well, I'll continue that question then with the same young lady. Number 1, if you're not by the hour, you're by the task. Is that true?
Well, it depends on the task. Usually it's within zones. It's a certain area.
Yeah, is transportation included in that $3?
No.
I see. Number 2, are you a bonded service so that if you should handle valuables and they are lost or something happens to them, you're covered?
Yes.
Still with number 2, are you instructed if in the event you should be accosted by a robber to give up whatever possessions you are carrying, though they belong to someone else? Or what are your instructions in that regard?
Intuition at the time.
Intuition. All right. Number 3, are you a night service as well as a day service?
No, just a day.
Still with number 3.
I'm sorry, Nipsey. Last wax, Kitty Carlisle.
Number 3, what made you laugh so when you came out? No? All right, you don't want to tell me. Number 2, I don't understand about your rates. I understand that within a certain zone you say it's $3. But supposing I have an errand that takes half an hour and Nipsey has an errand that takes 3 hours, don't you charge him more?
See, it takes me 3 hours.
Right. Every 10 minutes it's 75 cents more.
Oh, it's like a taxi cab.
Right.
Uh-huh. Number 1, how many people do you have in the service?
7.
Oh, is that all? Number 3, when you are bonded, I never understood about that. Who bonds you, and how much do you have to put up, and who puts up the bonding money?
At the insurance company.
And how much do they put up?
Well, the packages are insured differently than the messengers.
Well, elucidate.
We guarantee the package for $100 unless you want more.
No more than that?
No.
Number 2, what happens if somebody runs off and steals something? Is it only up to $100? It never happened. Number 1, where do you recruit your messengers from?
From people I know. I used to be a messenger.
With what service?
Oh, my. We got a little bell ringing there, friends. When you hear that tiny tinkle, that means it is time for you to mark your ballots. Whether you think it's number 1, or whether you think it's number 2, or whether you think it's number 3. And I hope that you're enjoying it as much as they are, and as much as I'm enjoying them. Bill, you want to start voting, please?
I never saw 3 happier girls in my whole life, to tell you the truth. I don't know how long the service is going to last, but you sure are going to have fun. And I just had a guess, because I don't know anything about this. I was interested, like Kitty, too, in the bonding procedure. I voted for number 2. Wild guess, I must admit.
All right, so a wild one in the middle, and we're going for Peggy.
Well, she seemed the coolest, and when it's 75 cents for every extra 10 minutes, she got that across, so I think it's number 2.
A pair of 2s, and Nipsey Russell coming out.
I always went along with number 2, but I took the zone area answer. I know that if there are distance messages on messenger services that I use, it will cost more, so I went for number 1.
A 1 and a pair of 2s and Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 2 because I think she gave us the best answer about how much it cost.
Okay. We're bunched up in the middle, and one little one down here in this end. The votes are all in. Will the Rio, Elizabeth Miskell, please stand up. And how you like them apples? Great job. I don't know what the zone rate is, but you just won $500 for yourself for stumping the panel. Let's find out who you all are. It's nice to have such relaxed guests. Number 1, what is your name? What do you do?
My name is Melissa Knopfler, and I'm a graduate student at NYU.
Good to have you here. And number 2 with 3 big, huge votes there. What is your name?
My name's Linda Wolf, and I'm a cosmetician at the Face Factory on 42nd Street.
Good. Elizabeth Miskell, under the Fair Practices Act, or whatever the name of it is, Non-Discrimination Act, if a man came and applied to you for a job as a Godiva, would you be forced to give him a job?
If he wanted to work as a Godiva messenger, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking of applying. You all have so much fun. Thank you very much, Elizabeth Miskell and friends, for being with us. Take care.
At Harry's, we designed our razors to start sharp and stay smooth, so your 8th shave is as smooth as your first. And at as little as $2 per blade, they cost half of what the other guys charge. Wake up to Harry's. Get your trial set for just $7 at harrys.com/smooth.
As a gynecologist, I'm embarrassed to say this. We use deodorant on our armpits, and we kind of make women feel bad about body odor that they get on other parts of our body. That's why I created Lumi Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. It's clinically proven to block odor all day, controls odor for 72 hours. Soap can't do that. And since your pits and privates go everywhere you go, keep them confidently fresher with Lumi. That reassurance is priceless. To learn more, go to lumideo.com.
This is Elaine. Please leave a message.
I can't get a hold of my mom.
I'm sure it's nothing.
I've called her 5 times.
I'm sure she's fine.
She always picks up on the first call.
You're gonna make yourself sick. You've been worrying all morning.
Hello?
Hello, this is Life Alert. Your mother had an emergency, and we dispatched paramedics to her home.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what happened?
She had a fall, but don't worry. She is safe, and the paramedics are helping her right now.
Thank you.
Is Grandma okay?
She's gonna be okay. Life Alert send help.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes. With one simple touch of a button, Life Alert sends help immediately. Whether it's to report a fall, a medical emergency, or an intruder, Life Alert sends first responders fast.
For information or a free brochure, call 800-405-1956. 800-405-1956. 800-405-1956.
I got this $1,000 camera for only $41 on DealDash.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for $26.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Let me show the folks at home how we solve this puzzle. I plus M, aim A jar, per pill, P-cab, boo, spaghetti, L-leaf plus fan plus T. You combine all of those, I'm the major purple peekaboo spaghetti elephant.
Alex Trebek explains it all for you. Classic Concentration. Weekdays starting at 1 on BUZZR.
Well, I don't know really what to say to you in closing the show today, except that we enjoy tremendously doing these shows for you, and we hope that some of the fun that we have here shows through there at home. We have such a good time, it's almost a shame for us to get paid.
Well,
I'm not so ashamed that I don't go down and pick it up every week, however. Take care, friends. Come back and see us again.
This is Bill Wendell speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Condon production.